Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Hope everybody is doing fine. So in this video I just want to tell you all about my journey growing up, my struggles. So I was born and raised in rural Jamaica, Saint and the parish of Saint and Alexandria Public Hospital, to be specific. Saint Anne is referred to as the Garden Parish of Jamaica. It is also the birthplace of our national hero Marcus Mosiah Garvey. So the community in which I was born and raised, farming was our number one source of income. When I say number one source of income, I mean everybody who lived in that community, they do farming. So growing up as a child, life was very challenging for me. Life was really hard. I was not a privileged child. I didn't have certain things like other kids have, but it makes me to be the individual that I am today. I'm a very humble person for today because of what I've been through back then. Growing up, I there's nobody cannot tell me about sufferation because I have been there and I've done it all. I used to have to go to school with no shoes on my feet. You all know when you wake up in the morning and those stones are so like they are sharp. I used to have to go to school with those shoes on my feet. I used to have to go to school with my books in a scandal bag, if you know what I mean. I used to have to go to school without lunch money and just dine for school to over so that we could come home and see if there's anything cook so that we could eat for it, because when a white squaller bites you and the water when that's a white off, that used to happen to me at school. I used to have to go to the woodland to go and get woods to come back and make fire so that our dinner can cook. If there's wood at home, fine, but if there's none home, we have to go and get it. I used to have to carry water on my head from miles and miles away from home. I used to have to bring my jug and leave it at the public tank when I was going to school, and when I was returning from school, we used to fill it and we bring it home. We have to do that because we know that there will be no water at home, so we have to do that. Going to bed, we used to only have to eat dumpling and butter. Sometimes we're lucky if we have any butter. If we don't have no dumpling, we have to use breadfruit or chocho, put in a pot, boil it with butter, eat it and go on our bed. My grandmother always tell me, say, if you don't go outside and tell anybody what you eat, they won't know. You know what I mean? That was used to be our dinner. We used to have to go ground, go in a bush, go dig potato, boil, roast it and only drink it with water. Go on our bed sometimes, because there was no food there. Sometimes we're lucky if we have butter. And in my community was the last one to have electricity. So I didn't have a refrigerator when my mother was ironing her clothes. It used to be one of the metal, the iron, those iron that you put on the fire to heat it up and iron clothes. That's the one that we had back then. And when your mother did not have certain things, you was not that privileged child. When you're going to school, there was certain activities that you could participate in and certain activities that you could not participate in because financially your mother could not afford it. So, and you was not the child who would go to school and give certain teachers gift and all of that because your mother could not afford to give you nothing, to give no teacher. So you was looked down on like an outcast. I was like the black sheep of my class, if I may say so. That was what it was, because my mother did not have nothing to contribute towards school. You understand? So, you was just looked down on away by student and certain teachers. So I remember the morning when I was going to do my common entrance. Yes, that's how old I am, because I did common entrance. Now it was GSAT and then it changed to PEP or something like that. I'm not quite sure. And I remember the morning when I was about to do my common entrance, a particular teacher come to me and she said, you know what? I don't think you should be going to that exam. You should go and get yourself a cutlass, a pickaxe, and a shovel, and you need to go and join the rest of your family on the farm. That was what the teacher told me. And as a child, I was like 11 plus. That really tore me up on the inside. I walk away and I start to cry tears. And I say, why me? Out of all the day, why is it that this woman chose to come today to tell me such thing? Why didn't you say something to encourage me or to uplift my spirit? Tell me that. Go out there and do your best so your mom can be proud of you. You didn't do that. And the morning of the exam, she hugged everybody and she didn't give me an hug. I'm like, it's okay, whatever. And then, because we had to take a transportation to leave us at the school, because it was not at the school that we attended the exam kept. And I remember when we reached at the school, everybody went inside and took their seat, and I was still standing outside. And I remember the examiner said to me, are you not going to come inside? And I said, yeah, just give me 5 minutes. And I was trying to recite something that I saw somewhere, and it wrote, I can do it, I can do it. And I said that like 7 times before I actually go inside the examination room. I stand at the door and I say that 7 times. And I say, you know what, girl? You're going to prove these people wrong who said that you're not going to amount to nothing in life. You're going to prove them wrong. And I went down and I sat and I do my exam. And when I come home, my grandma said to me, well, how was the exam? How was the exam? And I say, yeah, you know, my exam, I did what I had to do. And she said, well, only your best was good enough, because what my mother had to do at that time, my mother had to work out. She had to do domestic work. She had to be washing and cooking for people. And at some time she realized that that's not going to help. That's not providing enough money to feed me and my younger siblings. So she had to step it up a notch. So she went to another parish now. That means she's not going to come home no more. She's going to live in. She's a living helper now. So I was left with my grandparents, and I have to say, RIP to them, because they are no longer here with us. They have passed on a couple of years ago, and they have instilled in me certain morals that, you know, will never go away. And I'm so grateful and thankful for my grandparents. And I did the exam. We waiting for a result come. My name was the last name on the paper to call. And I remember when I couldn't hear my name, I was so, you know, mad, because I was like, no, don't tell me that you really fail your mother and you fail yourself and you give these people what they want. And then finally my name called, and you know, I jump and I shout and I say, thank you, Jesus, I've done it, you know. And while the rest of our children's name was calling, you know, everybody was shouting and they was happy. And when my name called, nobody was shouting. It was total silence, you know, like when they're going to say the national anthem and everybody just stand at attention. That was how it was when my name called. Nobody was like, you know, I'm happy for you. There was just one particular teacher who never give up on me, and every day I'm so thankful for that particular teacher who saw something in me that they didn't see, you know what I mean? And she never give up on me. She said, you do it, and you do it, and I'm so proud of you. And I have to say, I'm thankful for that teacher. And you know, I passed my exam, and I went to I was passed for, when my result come out, it was for Brownstown Comprehensive High School, because at that time it was comprehensive. And then a week after, another letter come from the Ministry of Education telling my mother that she need to ignore the previous school and this is the correct one. And I remember my mom turned to me and she said, listen, is not the school that you pass for, is not the school that you pass for, but is what you go to that school to do. And that's just sitting in the back of my head. And she said, and the second reason why I'm not going to move you is because of financial difficulties, so you're going to remain at Brownstown Comprehensive High School. And I went to Brownstown Comprehensive High School. I did my CXCs, thanks be to God, because at one particular time I think I won't be able to do it, because my mommy, she chose a partner and she saved her money. And I remember one morning when I went down to her, at that time she was working at a supermarket now, and when I went there, I met the supervisor and I said to her, can you call my mom? And she called her, and when my mom was coming from the back, she said to her, every Saturday I gave you your paycheck, and this is what you do, and look at your feet. You don't even have a shoes on your feet. The shoes by your foot are drop off. And I felt something literally stick me right in my head one time. I wanna grab that lady so bad, but you know, I was so small. There's not much I could do, because she was a big structured woman, so I couldn't do nothing. I was just so small, because she has disrespected my mother in front of me, and I had a friend with me, so that made me feel so bad for the entire day, you know what I mean? And I remember a couple of years ago, I remember last year I went to Jamaica, I saw that same lady. She's now still living in a rent house, and I have to say, thanks be to God, my mother is not living in no rent house no more. She have her own. And you know, I went through Brownstown High. I get my subjects, and I wanted to go to college, but I know that was going to be a problem for me because I did not have financial help. But I still tried though. I went to Knox College because I wanted to be a nutritionist, because I love food so bad. I love food and nutrition so bad that I wanted to you know, be in that field. You know what I mean? And for some reason, there was a particular individual who, he told me that, you know, I'm going to help you. Just let your mother get your books and uniform and all of that, and I'll pay the school fee. And you know, that person called my mother like the night before, and he said, listen, I'm going to send the money for her the morning. Go to the Western Union. And I have been sitting with my mommy in that Western Union from the Western Union was open, believe you me, until the time the Western Union was closed. And not even a red cent, nothing. That individual didn't send. And when I tried to call back the person, and the person, I don't know if they changed the number, or we was not getting onto them. Nothing was just the phone just ring one time and the phone just cut off, and I'm like, I cried so bad. I cried my eyes out. It take a toll on me because I was not eating. I became so depressed, and then I said to myself, you know what? It's not the end of the road. Brush off yourself and go do something. And I went to Archers NTA and I got a form. I complete the form and I bring it in. At that time, they wasn't charging for no course, and I did a I did a food production course there. It was 1 year and I think 4 months. I graduated, I get my certificate, and I move on to immediately as I graduated. I move on. I got a job for Sunset Jamaica Grand, and I've been there for 4 years. That was where I gained most of my experience. I've been there for 4 years with them, and then a friend of mine come to me and she said, "Hey, I got the link for the cruise ship," and I said, "Cruise ship?" And she said, "Yeah." Cruise ship. And I said, you know what? I don't think my mother would like me going to the cruise ship because my mother was a overprotective parent. You know what I mean? She, no matter, even now that I'm a big woman, she's very, very protective of her children. She don't care if you sister, auntie, uncle, not even the dog. She don't care who you be when it comes to her kids. She don't play with her kids when it comes to her kids. She don't put nothing in front of her kids. I don't care what it is. She don't put it. So I told my friend, I said, you know what? My mother is not going to allow me to go. And she said, you know what? No, it is your time. It's not your mother time. Your mother have done all that she could have done back then. No, it's your time to go and get out there and help her. And I'm saying, you're talking truth. You're making sense. I remember when I went home, I told my mom, I say, hey, you know what? I'm going to try the cruise ship. And she didn't like it. As I said before, she didn't like it. She was like, where are you going? You cannot, you can't even swim, and you're going to be miles and miles away. You don't have no family, no. I say, hey, mommy, this is my battle. I need to fight this. You know what I mean? No, it isn't left to me to do what I have to do. It's up to me to do my best. And I called the people from the shipping company, and they told me what I need to bring to them, and I bring in what they require. And they told me that you got to do your medical, you got to do your visa, you got to find your plane ticket, and that was some amount of money, believe you me. But me, if it is one thing that I am good on, is saving my money. So while I was at Sunset Jamaica Grand, I was saving my money because I did not have a child or nothing, no bills or nothing at that particular time. So I saved my money. And I went and imagine me traveling to Kingston with nobody. I tried in dangerous roads. Don't even know where I'm going. Going to do my police record, going here to do my medical, going there to buy because we had to buy our plane ticket from their agency in Kingston. And I've been on the road, not knowing where I walked to the valley of the shadow of death. I'm telling you that. And I have just asked God, I said, God, please guide me on my journey because I don't even know where I'm going. I don't even know where to go and find this place where they do police record. They just give me an address, a little piece of paper, and say, go and find this. And it was like a lot of running up and down, and it was taking a toll on my body because I was really tired. And I did it on my own. I paid my plane fare, I do my medical, and I didn't ask nobody for nothing. I did it on my own because that's who I am. I am a go-getter. I don't sit and wait for nothing to happen. I don't sit and wait for things to happen. I make it happen. And my mother, she was so scared and frightened that, one of these nights that when I go to Kingston, I may not come back home. And I say, you need to stop it. You need to think positive, because, that's just always is. That's just how it is with every parents. They're concerned about their children whenever they leave out and they don't come back. And my mother was no exception. And I went and joined the cruise ship. And I remember while I was there, I said, you know what, when I was leaving, my mother was still using a pit latrine back home. And I said, I have to cut this out. This had to stop. I have to get her out of this. And I remember when I come home, I spent 8 months out there. And when I come, I didn't touch my salary. As I told you before, I am a saver. I save everything. And when I come home, I immediately get some men, and I told them, I say, hey, I need to get my mom a bathroom. So you all need to get on it. And I get them on it. I pay them the money, and it was done under 1 month. And I say, you know what? This is my little token to you. I cannot pay you back for what you have done for me. So this is what I have to give to you. And I say, you no longer have to take your shower outside or nothing. Here's your bathroom. And she was so thankful for that. And it doesn't stop there. I continue going back and forth to ship. And I remember one time a particular friend said to me, hey, you've been going to ship for years and years, and then you come back, you're still taking bus, taxi, and all of that. And I'm like, he said to me, why can't you just buy a car? And I said to him, you know what? I cannot live in car. And he laughed at me and he said, everybody going to ship and they buying this and that. I say, but if anybody knows me, you all will know that I'm a laid back type of person. I'm not fussy. There's nothing in the world that can change me. Peer pressure don't have nothing on me because I know where I'm coming from and I know where I want to go. And I was not frightened by nothing. No jewelry, no nothing didn't frighten me. You know what I mean? And I said to myself, you know what? It's time for you to get a piece of land and go build a house. And I still didn't have a child as yet. And that's exactly what I did. And like after the house was completed and I'm moving like 6 months into the house, my father called me and he said to me, "Hey Tanisha, it's time for you to leave." I'm like, "Leave?" He said, "Yeah, it's time for you to leave." I say, "Your filing come through." And I'm like, "Really, daddy?" And he said, "Yes, it's time for you to pack your stuff and get out of Jamaica." And I'm like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, oh my God, I labored so hard to build this house and I gotta leave it. I can't even enjoy it. But anyhow, my mommy was still there. My sister is there. They have it. You know what I mean? So, and I have to say a big thank you to my father for never giving up. And he don't really need nothing because he's a well established person right now. So, and I came here under 3 years now. It's not yet 3 years. And I have accomplished a lot. And it don't stop there because I went back to school. I did the certified nurse assistant program. I pass it. I get my certificate. I get my license. So, but it does not stop there for me. For me, there's higher heights and I got to go there. And I need to get my mother out of Jamaica too. She have sacrificed so much. She have given up so much. And it's just fear for me right now to get her here so that she can come and enjoy, her life right now because she have done it all and I just want to give back to her. I just want her to live comfortable right now. So that's my next plan, to get my mommy here so that she can be able to come and enjoy life, because she's worked too hard and she's worked too long. So now it's time for it to stop. You know what I mean? And I need to get going too. I need to keep climbing that ladder of success. So I'm just here today to tell somebody out there who may have their back against the wall and feel like there's no way out and people look down on you like you never gonna make it. I am a living testimony. They told me to my face that I will never amount to nothing, but here I am today. I don't reach where I want to go as yet, but this is a stepping stone. And the words that they told me back then, I use them to grow higher and higher. Because nobody throws stones at a tree that doesn't bear fruit. There had to be something upon that tree for somebody to throw a stone upon it. You understand? I am not where I want to be as yet, but I'm going to reach there with the help of God. So don't sit there and think that, you cannot make it because people say you cannot make it. And, you just need the pulling force and the driving force and people around you to assist you to make it to where you want to go. And sometimes you need to get up and go do it for yourself, because if you wait for people, it's never going to happen. Sometimes you got to get up and do it. Go get up and go get it, because that's what I did. I get up and go get it because at one point in time I think that filing wasn't coming through. So I have to do something with my life. You understand? I wasn't sitting and waiting for Christmas to come when I know it's not coming, or for Santa Claus to come to the ghetto because he's not going to come anyhow. So you got to make it happen. And don't listen to the noise. Don't listen to the blah, 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 blah. Don't listen to it. Shut it out and go for what you want. You know what I mean? Because you can do it. With the help of God, you can do what you want. You can be whatever you want to be. Don't let nobody look down on you and tell you that you can't do it. Because they told me, but hey, I used those obstacles and I use them to climb on. And here I am for today. I'm very proud of what I have accomplished so far. I become a homeowner before I was 30 years old. I owned my house before I was 30. You know what I mean? I think I would never be able to travel on a ship or a plane, and I've done that. I've come to the USA, I've gone back to school, and I have accomplished just so much, and there's still more to go. I'm not done as yet because there's still more in me, because I have to make it. You know what I mean? So you can do it too. Don't sit there and tell yourself that you can't. There's no such word as you can't. You can do it. You need to take those words and you need to bury them, because there's no such words as you can't. So use me as a testimony and do what you had to do. I am here as a living testimony that, no matter what life throws at me, I'm still going to rise. They bury me, but they never thought that that seed was going to rise. They never thought that seed was going to blossom. And here I am today. You know what I mean? I'm so proud of me, from where I'm coming from to where I am right now. And I have to tell somebody, get up off your own, get up and do what you got to do and make it happen. Don't wait on family. Don't wait on friends. Don't wait on nobody. Get up and do it. You can do it, because there's more in you than you ever thought. And I hope you like this little video. I hope it helps somebody. You know what I mean?